Hello. There we go. What's going on, y'all? This is episode number 18 of the Audio Audacity podcast. I'm your host, Mo B. Next to me, we have who?
Boss Lady Brooks.
Across from me, we have who?
Chocolate.
All right, Chocolate. So, episode 18, today we're talking about police body cam bullshit. Now,
y'all know.
I'm not gonna sit here and today's not all lives matter, Black Lives Matter thing right now. We're just talking about a lot of the bullshit that police still get away with having body cams, and it's sad. I mean, I have police that are in my family. I have friends that are police officers. I've dated police officers and female police officers. By the way,
put that out there. Make sure.
I don't want no nightstick. I got my own. But it's just so sad that even though since Rodney King, you'd have thought since they've implemented body cams, since Mike Brown and Tamir Rice, and you would think that with these things happening, things would have gotten better. And statistically, I beg to differ. Unfortunately, it's really gotten sad.
That's more than sad.
So, in the years since Michael Brown's death, nearly 8,000 police departments across the nation have outfitted their officers with BWCs. BWC is short for body-worn cameras. Minneapolis Police Department was among them, and although it was citizen journalism, cell phone footage, that recently exposed George Floyd's murder to the public, the BWC footage of Floyd's encounter with the police that resulted in his death, released by the court in August, shed further light on the unjustifiable conduct of the officer. Okay, now, what are they? Police body cameras, BWCs, also called body-worn cameras, are small cameras worn on a law enforcement officer's chest or, head or shoulder to record interactions between the officers and the public. The cameras have a microphone to capture sound and internal data storage to save video footage for later review. Boss Lady?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to read the next part or just have a question,
baby.
comment, or concern?
Okay, so what are they used for? So here we are. According to the BJA, my bad, I'm a little tipsy. Bureau of Justice Assistance, video and audio recordings from BWCs, the body-worn cameras, can be used by law enforcement to demonstrate transparency to the communities, to document statements, observations, behaviors, other evidence, and to deter unprofessional, illegal, and inappropriate behaviors by both law enforcement and the public, or like they like to say, unlawfulness on both sides. And then the body cameras are in use around the world, from Australia to Uruguay to the United Kingdom, even in South Africa.
I have just recently they had that mall situation where there were two teens arguing in the mall. I won't call him a white boy because he wasn't white. He was actually has ethnic background. He's just lighter skin toned. The lighter ethnic boy, got into the fight with the black boy and the black teen. So, for those who haven't watched it, you can look it up on any kind of YouTube or any site to look at it, and it pisses me off to no end because the officers who intervened saw the lighter teen on top of the black teen. They whisked the non-white teen away and set him gently on the bench, and then turned around, and before the black boy could even try to get up off the ground, they pretty much pinned him. The male officer pinned him to the ground and put him in handcuffs. The female officer who had whisked the non-black teen to safety came over and helped pin down and cuff the black teen, when obviously he didn't need help, and obviously both of them should have been detained. Now, the non-black black teen, had his hands out like, "Hey, arrest me." They said, "Oh, no, you're fine. You're okay. But and even right now, the non-black teen even accused the same police department in New Jersey of racism because he himself admitted even he should have gotten arrested. He should have gotten handcuffed, but they failed to do so. And then when the footage got out and they went to, everything has been focusing on this particular county in New Jersey, when the shit hit the fan, they, even though it's been recorded, they even said that the black teen got arrested because he resisted arresting. And he didn't have time to resist shit because they pulled the boy off of him in a hot flash. So, no. So I'm not buying it. And that just goes to show you that even with camera footage, even with recordings, even with your own, seeing things with your own eyes, they still want to control the narrative and tell you what it is you're looking at, knowing damn well you're not stupid.
Right.
They expect for us to just shut up and take it. And it's time out for that. I mean, I'm not one of these anarchists, but in order to make a change, we need to get up off our ass, stop buying Jordans, and educate ourselves a little more, and go to law school and become lawyers and become politicians to change these laws. That's the only way things are going to change. We need to pool our money together because best believe the Jews, the Germans, the Filipinos, we can take a step further. The Balkans, people who come to this country, they come together, they stick together and put their money together. So they have representation. They know how to line the right pockets and the right people to find out what's going on in their communities to make sure it doesn't happen in their communities that happen to the black communities. Everyone loves blacks. They love a nigga until they get treated like a nigga, and that's just real talk.
No, that's right.
They love our music, they love our culture, they love our dancing, they love our slang, the shoes, the way we dress. But no one wants to be treated like a nigga, but they don't mind being like a nigga. They don't even mind saying the word nigga. Yeah. And this gets getting crazy because just the other day we seen a video of a white boy rapping using the word nigga. Gosh. So now they getting even bolder now.
You can't get mad at the truth though. He was breaking it down.
Yeah, but he was breaking it down. Though. He was breaking down.
But he was breaking down some things.
Mind blown.
Your mind blown. Yeah. My kid got into it with a cop all because the cop told him to step out of the car. And he's like, you have no reason. You didn't give me a reason to step out of the car. What are you even at my window for? What did I do? Did I speed? Did I stop? Did I not stop? And he's like, now you're resisting arrest. Get out the car. My son refused to get out the car. In the meanwhile, he called me so I can hear what's going on. And this cop, he went in. I'm gonna slam your head through the windshield. Another reason I'm not getting out the car, sir. And he kept. Mm-hmm. The more he knew, the cop was getting infuriated because my kid knew the law, and he's like, I can't resist arrest because you didn't charge me with anything, and I haven't done anything. So until then, you charge me and then you arrest me. Now I'm fighting to get loose. That's resisting. Right. But you telling me to step out my car because you feel like I need to be arrested because you mad at how I'm talking, it's not gonna happen.
Right.
It's not, and they do ours like that. They do ours like that. Unfortunately, it was a black cop that did it.
And I have a lot of
even worse.
It makes it even worse.
Worse.
I have a lot of friends that are white, and they are pro Shield, pro Blue Lives Matter, and that doesn't bother me. But understandably so, the police are human beings too, and they make mistakes. So why do you treat the police like they're infallible when they are? They make mistakes. If we have a bad day, then we can go home for hopefully and take a bath or have a drink, smoke some, snort some, whatever you got to do. But when police officers have a bad day and take it out on you, is it okay?
No, it's
because
not.
They're a police officer? No, it's not okay. It's not okay for a police officer to violate your civil rights, especially if you are a person who knows the law.
Yep.
And if you caught and you busted, just, hey, let it go. Let it go. But they can't because they're cops. They're always right.
Let's take this a step further.
That taste of power.
So most municipal and county police officers have the bare minimum of training. They only get enough training to get out of the academy. Highway Patrol gets 1,800 hours, if not more. and they don't even encounter the same foolishness.
You're right.
Right.
And
Neighborhood
you
is such-
normally, 9 times out of 10, you're coming home after an interaction with the highway patrol. You can't say the same thing
Right, in your
for
neighborhood.
municipalities and county officers.
Right. Speaking of which,
That part. But they should be held to a higher standard because they are supposed to know the law. But you'll find that, once again, 8 times out of 10, they don't know the actual laws. They don't know the differences in the jurisdictions. They think that they have, the rights. If they cross from the city to the county, that's totally within their rights. It's really not, but no one fights it.
Right.
It's just so much that people don't know about the law, and it's not just color, but because it happens to, people of color so much more than it is, a white man can get belligerent, curse, and do everything else,
Go to the
and
truck.
he's going to be able to walk back to his vehicle and walk away,
And go
just
home.
ride home.
They can afford
Yeah.
to walk around with their hands in their pockets and not get shot
Yes.
because their hands in their pockets.
Exactly, and they're not accused of having a weapon.
they're not threatening.
Right.
I saw a fight on one of the Facebook watches, and it was at a hibachi restaurant. I can't remember what state this was in, but everyone in there was white. Everybody, except for the workers. So one man, he gets mad because his food is taken in his eyes too long. It's hibachi. So he starts
yeah.
cussing and going off on the guy. And the dude was like, okay, let's take it outside. He went to walk around the corner, and the white guy snuck him. And so it turned into a whole fight, right?
God.
But you didn't see people jumping up, screaming, oh, my God, and running off. Like, if there had been a black person fighting, they would have cleared the whole spot. People still sitting down eating like nothing had happened.
Because that's what happens.
Why do they not fear when there are other whites fighting? There's no fear, but if there's one black person, one white person, they're running like their lives are all in danger.
Because they set the narrative a long time ago that we are inhuman, that we are
We're animals or beasts.
We are
Yeah.
We're animals. We're beasts. We have superpowers. We can run faster, jump faster. We create kids at an alarming rate. We're just the super being.
Mandingos and the whores.
Yeah, and they overdo it when it comes to us, and it's not even the case because we're not a monolith. We're different types of beings. You have the nerds. Every black person isn't a thug or from the ghetto. Every black person, country of the rumor ain't got a big dick. Every black person ain't got bad credit, or every black person might. Some of us know our fathers, But of course, it's so crazy because I thought I read something that about even with welfare, like the stereotype of welfare, that there are more white people on welfare
Always
than
has been.
blacks.
Absolutely.
Right.
Always
It was
has been.
created for
Yeah.
whites. It was never created for blacks. They just saw that as a bargaining tool when it came to politics.
Now they want to say we abuse it more, but it's more of
Totally
them.
untrue.
Yeah, it's more of them. Like even with that Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter, I hate that. Don't compare that. That pisses me off because I can't go home and take my uniform off. You can, and then you get to walk around and be who you be, and then you get to go home and put your uniform back on. I don't get a chance to do that. When I go to the grocery store, this is me. You feel me? And I leave my garage. This is me. So don't sit here and say Blue Lives Matter when that blue can come off you. It's kind of like, hey, and then the Ku Klux Klan come in the room, and it's like, oh, yeah, these niggas, don't take me, take the niggas. You know what I'm saying? So,
But even with that, you're saying Blue Lives Matter, but going from the city police department over into the the different wards, and you even take it as far as the fire department, there's so much prejudice.
Yeah, that's true.
And when they want to chastise or punish a black for something that they deem that they've crossed the line with, they put them in all white municipalities,
I've heard
and
of that.
then they dog them. They keep them at a lower rating. They don't promote. So when they're talking about Blue Lives Matter, but if it mattered so much, it wouldn't matter the race. You'd be treating each other the same. You dog each other
even,
out.
It's kind of like colorism within the black community. There's still colorism.
No matter what your profession is, you're always going to be disenfranchised by whites.
Yeah, I had a partner who's a cop over in he was a cop in Pine Lawn, and then they did the North County, what is it called, the North County
Collective or whatever.
Yep.
whatever.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to
North County Co-op.
He didn't want to leave the Pine Lawn area. First of all, that's where he grew up. Secondly, he was like, no, I just want to be right where I'm at so I can help my community. And that's great. But you're just going to always be at that level with your job because you don't want to go and be with these quote unquote whites that's going to treat you like this, that, and the third. Okay, I guess that's fine. But it shouldn't be like that though. It shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't be scared to move up the ranks as a black cop because of that.
Right.
Like that's being held over your head.
Right. It's crazy. Some of the reasons that we studied before with the implementation of the body cameras was after the police shooting of Michael Brown on August 9th, 2014 in Ferguson, Missouri. President Obama requested $263 million to fund body camera programs and police training on December 1st, 2014. As a result, the Department of Justice, the DOJ, implemented the Body-Worn Camera Police and Implementation Program, or known as BWC PIP. Between 2018 to 2019, 4 years, the BWC PIP was given over 493 awards worth over a collective of $70 million to law enforcement agencies in 47 states, including D.C., Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Agencies in Maine, Montana, and North Dakota have not been awarded federal body camera funding, mainly because there's not a lot of blacks there.
I just thought
it
about
might be
that.
some there, but not a lot.
They won't apply for it. They don't want it.
Oh, they don't want it.
They don't want it. It's not a matter of not being awarded. They don't want it.
That's one way to look at it. Oh my God.
That's the truth.
Jeez.
They don't need that. They don't want to be all over the news.
Yeah, because they know.
They kill their own. They
Yeah.
don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. And no reason to visit Montana.
Do you remember a couple years back that St. Louis police officer he was chasing down this dude who's a drug dealer, known drug dealer. He chased him down. He shot him with his own gun. The police officer shot him with his own personal gun, and then he planted it on the dope dealer's body and said it was his, not realizing that the camera was on.
Yeah.
And he still got away with that shit.
Yes.
Still got away with that shit.
That sounds familiar. Was that when he put it in a car and the car dash cam caught him and it was on his, but his was off.
Yeah.
He did that,
He cut his off in the dash.
Yeah, but the dash cam.
And that officer still got away
From
with
what
that
I
shit.
understand, that officer also was involved in some other bullshit
I can
and
believe that.
ended up getting fired over the other, which was nowhere near as
Near
serious. But it wasn't a black that association was with. It was with something else about the department. So yeah.
Right. You know,
That's crazy.
we made
lives
we did a
don't
show
mean nothing.
about unions. The union is a good thing, but when you have a police union, it can go either way. Because a lot of these cops, because they are in the union, and I'm not shitting on unions because I am pro-union, but a lot of these unions protect the most raggedy, fucked up people. Even in my business, with me being an auto worker, you know, there's a lot of people we work with that are stand-up people, good people. You know, of all backgrounds, ethnicities, sexualities. But then you have some assholes, black, white, indifferent, who just, they're fuck-ups. Always fucking up, always on some bullshit, always kicking up shit. But because they pay their union dues, they gotta get representation. They gotta get represented. So the same thing goes with cops. When police officers will fuck up and do certain things, they get fired. All they do is go to the next county over, next state, next region over, and get hired back. And that shouldn't be the case. I feel like you should.
Do you know that when it comes to race relations, when a police officer, a white officer, does something, even murder, if they're not indicted or brought before a grand jury, then they have Maine, Montana, North Dakota, Texas, they have municipalities that headhunt them. Oh, we need them on our force.
Wow.
And Darren, what's his name?
Darren Wilson.
Not only he didn't work for a while, his family lived like kings.
He didn't have to because they got millions of dollars.
I know, but he's in Texas,
Chilling.
living it up.
Yep. Chilling.
And they take care of him.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
They protect that.
Because when that shit popped off, and
they showed a black officer who wasn't even in that department because they had the same name, and flashed him all over the television. Didn't have anything to do with him. And then they brought up the fact that the officer was questioned about misappropriating funds when he was over some type of police union.
Right.
I mean, but how did we get away from this white officer killing this black boy?
Who was the district attorney at the time for St. Louis County? An asshole dude. Because I remember his...
McCullum.
Mm-hmm. Because I remember his father got killed by
a black
dude. So, of course, he had it out.
Yes.
And McCullum, it was so funny because when that stuff popped off with this whole situation, of course, everybody knew he was inside. Everybody knew he was going to take care of him. And it was so crazy because McCullum convicted a black, I want to say, off-duty officer who was on a Metrolink. He did something that was like...
Protected somebody.
Yeah, and so he pegged this black officer and got him fucked up in the game, but protected Darren Wilson. It was so obvious.
They let him drive home in the same vehicle that he shot at Mike Brown. They didn't take his gun right then.
Nope.
He went home. He was able to contact the lawyer, chill with his wife and kids overnight. The next day, he was able to drive back to the precinct, turn in, whatever he had to turn in, and sit back and chill. But because he immediately started getting death threats, they heard him, got him out of St. Louis.
It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. They take care of their own, man. They best believe, and that was before Trump was in office, and it's gotten even worse now because once Trump got in office, a lot of the racism, people were like, fuck it.
We don't have to hide it.
They don't have to hide it no more. And I appreciate, honestly, I appreciate that.
I do too, because now I know who you are.
I know who you are.
Yeah, I'd rather know than not know.
Yeah.
I don't get offended. I don't get offended by Trumpers. You love who you love. I don't give a damn. But Trump don't give a fuck about you.
What they don't realize is that Trump isn't racist. He never has been. He's not racist. He's elitist and he's classist, which is totally different. Yeah. If you got money, he don't give a fuck what your skin tone is. Yeah. But when you don't, he don't. And the only reason why he jumped on the band, that everybody was on his bandwagon, even the poorest of whites jumped on his bandwagon, is because he needed those votes. Yeah. He didn't give a fuck about them. You think he'll go into the trailer parks? You think he... he ain't in but fuck Maine.
Trump don't like
exactly.
He don't like poor blacks, poor Mexicans,
he don't
poor
like
whites,
poor nobody.
Poor Muslims. He don't like nobody that's poor.
Exactly.
And white people need to understand that, but no,
they don't.
They
stupid. Because the most ignorant, miseducated, teeth not in the mouth, citizen in Polk, North Carolina, will trump you to death, and Trump wouldn't even go shake that man's hand.
Sure the fuck won't.
That's surely.
Sure the fuck won't. The top 3 pros and cons of body cameras. Number 1, police body camera. Number 1 pro. Police body cameras improve police accountability and lower reports of police misconduct. And I'm sure
that's what it's supposed to.
And I'm sure in certain cases it probably has.
It probably has
in certain cases because it all stems from who's your mayor. Who's the police chief or the superintendent of your department? That's what it all depends on. Because a lot of times, it's certain police people, certain police people who the chiefs will cover their ass. They will cover their people's asses to make sure they don't get in trouble in regards to what the camera says. It's usually the police, the mayors or the aldermans or the police chiefs or the captains or people in charge. If they are very responsible, if they live by accountability, then they will fire or terminate or help prosecute said rogue officer. I've seen it, especially when that stuff popped off when they had the riots in Atlanta. They made it a point to whereas they start pegging people, pinning them down, and getting people terminated, white and black officers. The con of it. Police body cameras are too expensive and unreliable for many police departments.
That's what the police say. Yeah. But they don't want to be held accountable.
Right.
I think that's all there is to that. I know what irks me about that is that like you said, they will take that video, say said police officer fuck up. Mm-hmm. Okay? They take that video that day, okay, this is what you did. Okay, let me see how we can spin it. We can't really spin it. So then they don't release the video footage.
Mm-hmm. They hold on to it
for
months.
They get that other particular cop, they get them off to safety somewhere, put them up somewhere until they can, really look at this, like they say. Mm-hmm. But in all actuality, they trying to figure out a way to spin the narrative. Because, okay, yeah, we're not gonna let them get you. We ain't gonna let them get you. We're gonna see what we can do. See, right here, he was the aggressor. No, he wasn't. How are you gonna tell me what my eyes see? So that's their excuse. Mm-hmm. It's too expensive. Mm-hmm. But they just don't want us to use our own eyeballs and spin our own narrative.
How's it expensive when you getting federal funds to pay for the shit?
Well, you might have vacations you want to take and things you want to do. Let me shoot a 12-year-old so I can go on vacation for 6 months. Because he was the aggressor playing in the park with a toy gun with the orange tip.
And that was crazy.
That's crazy to me because they specifically made them guns look like toys.
Even on the 911 call, the woman said it looks like a toy
gun. And he hopped out the truck. He hopped out the
car. Ain't stopped rolling.
He ain't stopped rolling.
Mm-hmm. He pat.
Yep. Shot that boy.
That hurt me to my soul to see that. Mm-hmm. And we saw that. Because of cams. Yeah. We saw that. Now, okay, does it make it any better? No, we don't get over it, but we getting there. So they can't use that as the excuse.
Gung ho officers got man. That's
they can't use it as. So pro number 2, police body cameras are a powerful tool in domestic violence cases. That I believe. I would vote for that pro. I've been on the receiving end of that. I'll vote for that.
Right.
So okay. Con number 2. The con to that is police body cameras invade the privacy of citizens, potentially exposing victims and subjecting citizens to facial recognition software. They come up with some of the. I like the way you I like your verbiage. I do. I like the big words.
It sounds good, but so does the mall camera.
Yeah,
I'm saying, so does Facebook.
That sounds like a cop.
Oh, your facial recognition is all the way out there.
What did they call it earlier? They call it what was it? Where was it at? Citizen journalism. That's what they're officially calling it. Citizen journalism, which is cell phone footage, and that's what they can't deny. Like we can use our phones
and it'll hold up in court.
We gonna see a whole different angle than what you got or what your people took and spun their own narrative. That ain't what happened. This is what happened. Like even with Mike Brown, you know how many people was out there like, camera hustling that. And I saw it firsthand. Like, wow.
Unfortunately,
that man did that.
Unfortunately, the spin on that was they wanted everybody who had any kind of footage or anything to turn it in and report it. And the very kind-hearted black person who trusts the police, okay, I'll do the right thing and turn it in because they need to see this what the people should. And when they turned it in, of course, they got rid of it.
They got rid of it.
Deleted it. It never saw the light of day. But if someone was smart, they could take it to the news. And once you get on the news,
it's out there.
It's out there.
Yeah.
Well,
a few people did. So,
but there was some Ameren workers out there that they said that they were too shocked to even think about bringing a phone out because the way that this shit went down.
Yeah.
The boy who was with them and the girl that was standing on the sidelines that saw everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I personally saw them too giving a private meeting with the Department of Justice and the FBI. They whisked them away.
Yeah, you think you can trust these people?
Those Ameren workers, they protected their identity, thank God. Mm-hmm. There were some other workers who actually saw during the riots as they put it,
Yeah.
that the people who were doing this were not actually ones from St. Louis, and that
True.
a lot of the bomb throwing or brick throwing and all that stuff was done by people in not military, but in police boots, batons, and
Yeah.
different gear for officers.
I remember how much of during the Mike Brown verdict and whatever, and how it was like 2 different verdicts. It was like they did one for the Mike Brown, and they had something like later on like a civil case. It was something.
So they
So I remember my partner.
they had to
was
throw
lawyer
a
for
bone out there. I can't remember what it was about, but they had to throw a bone because they knew what was going to happen. But right before they did that, they called in the National Guard.
that. I remember that.
So everyone was like, "We know what they're going to."
And I
You,
kept my
you
kids
already
home.
know,
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
The reason the,
Oh,
the
I
reason why I
wanna
bring
say,
that up.
the Hazelwood didn't even have school.
Ours didn't either.
Yeah. So yeah.
The reason why I bring that up is because there was footage in Dalewood. I remember they had 2 white people throwing bricks and stuff, and all the blacks that surrounded like, hold on, stop.
They
and
was trying to stop
and
them.
they
I
caught
remember
them.
that.
Yeah.
And they caught them from because they like, you ain't from around here.
Yeah.
Get the fuck from around here because you fucking. And it's been proven
Yeah.
time and time again how much they like to kick up shit.
Yes.
I mean, there's a couple of us who. Well, more than a couple of us. There's a lot of us that, a lot of us who will go
Right.
and loot and tear up shit. But then there's also agitators who come in that aren't from around here and will fuck shit up. No different than that police officer that got beat up by another police officer downtown.
Yeah.
Now then they didn't realize he was off-duty police officer.
Yes.
He's the
Oh, they
officer.
gotta pay him.
Yeah, they gotta pay him.
Yeah. Oh,
Fuck
that's
that
nice.
dude up.
They really did because he's still getting. He got a head injury. He's still going to therapy for. He didn't have surgeries. They messed up his mouth. I mean, it was
Right.
all kinds of stuff
So
going
this
on.
goes to show you
So,
how
yeah.
police ain't always right. I mean, they ain't always wrong, but this situation where they wasn't right at all.
I think
They're
our
human
kids
beings
are,
that they're fallible.
our kids have been raised the same way. I know your dad was probably like, cops aren't bad people. When you get pulled over, do this, ... No, all we ever seen growing up. I know me anyway, living in the hood, over in Cope Brilliant and back over in that area. Cops will. Pull you out the car, throw you to the ground with the
Because they feel
elbow
like they
and
can
go
because
through
you
your
have
pockets,
no
take your shit.
representation. Who's
who
your
cares?
advocate? Who's advocating?
Right. Yeah,
and
who
so
cares?
because there were
Nobody's gonna come for you.
so many years of getting no advocacy that they feel like they can do whatever they
course.
want. But and also they try to rely on the fact that we don't know people.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
You don't know who know who.
Exactly. And so when
know plenty of
you're in West County,
Yeah.
and you dog out XYZ, that might be that might be the mayor's cousin or somebody. So they they have
they
advocates.
They know when and where to do it.
Exactly.
They know when to work. Well, we grew up scared of the cops is what my point was.
Right.
And my kids, they didn't grow up scared of the cops, but they grew up not trusting them. Now, the difference between when we grew up and now, everybody got their cell phones now. You see all the videos. So the fear is justified
Yeah.
in our children's generation because they're seeing it firsthand.
Yeah.
They're experiencing it firsthand. Nobody going to believe me unless I have my phone out. And then even when you got the video footage, if they spin, like we said earlier, the narrative, they still might not believe it.
Right.
Still, so their fear is justified. Ours was, cops have always been doing this. It's just that now we have cell phones to take videos. This is nothing new to us.
Right.
We all know this.
Exactly.
That class of people like, oh my God, well, you just need to, you need to speak to the cop correctly and keep your hands on the dash. Had you done that, nothing would.
Now, how many of them actually do it?
That's all I'm saying.
They don't.
And they
I
don't
have
do
seen
it, but they
them
get to go home at the end of the night.
Cuss cops out with their windows up.
All that.
Turn their radio
Drive
up,
off.
That's all I'm saying.
Right, drive off.
You have no reason to keep me, sir. I'm
Yeah.
leaving.
Yeah.
I have your badge number.
Exactly.
That old.
Their situations escalate so bad to the point of where we as black people looking at them like, shoot their ass,
Right,
because we
'cause
like
that's what it does.
they're doing so much that you damn near got to shoot them,
And they-
Yeah.
but they go home.
Yeah.
So
I remember the first time because I was always an advocate that cops were good people. They're here to
Yeah.
protect us. I was 17 years old. Had my first little car, a little color Sierra. My gray bro had 4-door. And me and my partner, I went to high school with Mike Belt Jr. May he rest in peace. He was from Chicago. That was my dude back in high school. And we would ride around the city. Just he had a thing for white girls, so we would ride around here and there. So it was a white girl that he was talking to or dating, and it was 3 black guys, me, Mike Belton, somebody else, and then it was a white girl. And then the white girl, we drove her around to go pick up her black friend. So we did all that. So we riding around, having a good time. We riding, of course, back then, you riding 6 deep in a motherfucking Cutlass Sierra. But when you're young, everybody can fit it, wasn't no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So County Brown, it just like we ride, we wouldn't bother nobody. So County Brown, pulled us over, ran my plates, I'm good. He checked everything. He seen the white girl in the backseat. So instantly, he gets all of us out the car. We get out the car. I give my ID. I didn't question nothing. He's questioning. He pulls the white girl to the side, and I ear hustle. Are you okay? Has anyone of them touched you? Are you safe? No, she's like, no, I'm fine. Officer, I'm fine. These are my friends. I go to school with them. This is my friend Stacy, and the white girl, I forgot what her name was, but her black friend's name was Stacy. And this is Stacy, and we're just and do you know this motherfucker put everybody back in the car but the white girl and ran the white girl home? Crazy. But,
But I will say this. What was that, a white officer or a black officer?
Oh, 2 white officers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I've kind of seen, growing up, I kind of seen something similar to that.
Right.
But there was a difference. This was a black officer who knew that if this white girl flipped the script on these kids, they would all be in trouble.
Right.
So he didn't take her home. He called the parents. She was really on the wrong side of town, and he knew what her purpose was, which was to get drugs. These black kids weren't into drugs. So not discrediting your story, because you're
But
perfectly
there again,
legitimate,
you spin the narrative,
but
it's a little different.
there's a different narrative, because I grew up to know that the black officers, and I'm from a small town, so it makes a total difference.
Yes.
But the black officers, they were from the town, they knew everybody, and they looked out for us as kids. Even when we were dumb as hell doing stupid shit, we got cussed out and told to go home.
Right.
It's a different world we living in now.
That's true. That's so You never know, like you said earlier, you never know who. Because
Yes.
when that incident popped off with my kid knows the mayor. What is his name? Alvin Parks? Is that the guy over in
St.
Illinois?
Louis. Yeah,
Oh,
St.
yeah.
Louis.
Yeah.
And he's very fond of my kid. So when all that, I saw, let me get mayor on the phone, said a few things. He got the cop fired. Because that wasn't his only incident. That wasn't
I'm
his
sure.
only complaint. That wasn't, you know what I'm saying? He had all these different
But a lot
complaints,
of-
but ain't nobody checked in.
A lot
on
of
it.
the bad ones, it's never their only. It's never their first. It's never their second.
never,
It's never
'cause
their
they know they
third. It's
get
never
away
their
with
fourth. They've done it so much
Yeah, they
that
comfortable.
they've gotten
The
so
fuckery,
comfortable.
the fuckery.
Yeah,
You call it
absolutely.
the fuckery.
Yeah.
The fuckery.
Yeah, they done got away with it so long until, that's second nature to them.
Can I mention 2 things? First one is the new mayor in DeKalb County, Georgia. Atlanta.
Okay.
Her name is Keishant Sewell.
Okay.
And she made history. She's the first woman and third African American to lead the largest police department in the country.
Yeah.
So and she's the first woman ever in the state of Georgia for sheriff,
Yep.
Wow.
black or otherwise. So with that being said,
Damn.
she had coming straight into office, she had a situation where, I don't remember all the details, I was reading the story, but it was so much to it. Black officer, he was DeKalb City, because DeKalb County also, there's DeKalb City and you have the county. She's the sheriff, but it was a city officer who was accused of sodomy, rape, child abduction. It was a bunch of stuff,
Right.
and they have the charges. They don't have the details out. So what she did was she promised transparency on the ultimate level. She immediately fired him. She didn't wait on no investigation. She didn't want to hear shit. She got rid of that ass. She had them come in. He came to her office, and she had his counterparts come and lock his ass up right then. He didn't go to another county or another police station. He went right where the fuck he was
That's how
at.
it's supposed to
Well,
be.
that's what
She
they
didn't
do.
play
They'll
with
just
him.
transfer him.
Exactly. So
Crazy.
full transparency, right? And she's on top of it. She said she ain't playing no games. She don't have time for those type of Blue Lives Matter mess to interfere with what she's trying to do with the office, which is clean it up. So then also, I want to say Austin, Texas, they have a Hispanic police chief. She is changing things to the point of where their crime rate is like dropping.
I love the fact that you said she. Keep going.
And it's these women because they're being progressive.
Yeah.
They're giving them better training.
Yeah.
They're also implementing where instead of every call being sent out to a police officer, sometimes if it's someone having a mental health breakdown, they're sending out mental health agents. They're sending out, they're identifying what the issue is. They're also better training their 911 systems.
They have to.
Because they're the first contact.
Yeah.
You can't have someone ignorant, having a bad day and don't want to deal with it, and they just send out and don't even get full detail. Yeah. Because details is everything when it comes to 911.
We weren't even supposed to go on the scene unless it was secured. So we need the police anyway.
Exactly.
In a situation like that.
My cousin, she's EMT. She has come up on scenes to where they had to literally drive their truck on the side of a fire truck to protect the fire truck from being shot because a dude this just happened last year in Atlanta, DeKalb County. Dang. They were shooting at them. They had to protect them and get them behind it because they were in the line of fire. This dude went crazy and started shooting at everybody. So their vehicle got shot up, fire truck, everybody's life is in danger. Another situation they walked up on, it was another counterpart. It was their truck getting shot at. They get to scenes and people come out the house bucking at them, even though they're there to help. They're not there to arrest anyone. Right. So even though a lot of police do a lot of wrong, there's still so many other first responders that you have to protect. Yeah. And then not only do you have to protect them from the bad guys, you got to protect them from their people.
Yeah. Their own.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one thing about it, man. Yo, they need more training. I mean,
way more
across the board.
And they need to be held to a higher standard because they already are trained. You take a citizen who hasn't been trained on police procedure, that might be their first encounter, but the police expect them to know exactly what to do.
Right.
But they're the ones.
It's kind of like throw them out there and let them swim, but don't come back here with no bullshit.
That part.
Right.
Yeah, they need to be getting trained every 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
Sensitivity training,
all that.
Culture training,
race training.
I've never encountered this culture. How would different cultures do different things?
How about
right?
keep the police in their neighborhoods when possible?
When possible,
so that they will know people if they come across someone.
That used to be the deal.
Well, right. If they come across someone who's mentally challenged, that's
know.
such and such.
They know.
He ain't go.
Right.
Exactly.
Because autism don't show up when you look at a person. Their behavior may be a little off, and you like, shit, I'm going home tonight.
Schizophrenia may not show up.
Schizophrenia is another one. Manic depressive. That may not. All of that. Mm-hmm. All of that mental illness will step outside and be like, hi. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, blow their head off. And you like, oh my God, we didn't get nobody out here. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, they needed more training.
Definitely.
Was that the pro?
That was the con.
We were still.
That was the pro. We ain't did con number 3.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You want me? Okay.
Go ahead.
Police body cameras decrease safety of police officers and negatively affect their physical and mental health.
Bullshit!
Lies.
Bullshit.
Stop it.
It's just that their bullshit exactly. So people see what they've done, and now they're nervous and worried because they know they didn't fuck up.
Because they've been doing this, man. They've been doing this, and now they being seen and called out for it. And now,
time for an audio Audacity podcast exclusive. And now, here we go to you, Mo. Mo calls bullshit.
Really?
That's bogus as hell.
That is.
These cons.
These are cons that are excuses.
And these cons sound like it sounds like a convict trying to con your ass. These damn.
Okay, even the first con, that's bullshit from the police.
Right. The second
con,
too.
Yeah, they're all bullshit from the police. Who came up with these cons?
The police.
Right.
And again, I appreciate your verbiage. I like your big words. But no.
Your lawyer did a wonderful job.
Yes.
And keep in mind, if you're still listening, if you're still watching, understand something.
Please don't leave us.
Being a police officer is not easy. Like I said, I have relatives that are police officers currently. I have a cousin that's a federal agent, FBI agent. That's not easy. I have had ex-girlfriends that were police officers. I've had partners, that were police officers. I'm still cool with some of them. And it's not easy being a police officer. Mm-hmm. The stress level, I'm sure, is through the fucking roof because you can get ambushed, you can get shot, you can get over nothing, over bullshit, because you're in the police car, because you have in your uniform. So I am not sit here. I'm not gonna sit here right now and ridicule you for being a police officer, because this shit's not easy. But on these cons, they sound like bullshit.
They're excuses.
It's excuses.
They really are. They're not reasons.
Police body cameras decrease the safety of police officers. Bitch, where?
How?
When?
How?
How does it decrease the
I don't
safety?
understand. I don't understand.
Now, it decreases the safety if it's a real camera, and when they show that they got to walk around with it, that's
but
unsafe.
The body cam don't
Or if there's a cord that you can trip over, that's unsafe.
Yeah.
Or if there's exposed wires that can shock you, that's unsafe.
You know why they say that?
No, why?
Because, the officer shot Mike Brown, and everyone knows it's some bullshit. It was really murder. And now his name and identity is out there. And they're going to go and find out where he lives and fuck him up.
They sent that dude away immediately.
Exactly. But that's the whole thing. That is the whole narrative. When it says decrease safety of police, basically, once you become an officer, you are a public servant. There's no such thing as decreasing your safety.
And again, that go back to training. And I hate to be this way. I know a lot of cops. Few of my good friends are cops, right? If you know all of that is involved, you're either going to be a cop because you want to help the community, or you want to change the narrative of what a cop is. You can't do it single-handedly, unfortunately. Or you want to be able to hide behind that badge and do your bullshit. So if you go into it like, I'm nervous, I got anxiety issues, I got mental health issues, but sometimes they don't show up. So you all of a sudden you a cop. Shit rolling in your head.
Yep. I have anger issues. I'm still tripping off the boy that beat me up in the 5th grade, and I want to get back at every black
Somebody
dude that
raped my mama.
All that.
It was a nigger. Every one of them, I got a beat on every one of them. They ain't no good.
You say nigger?
Yeah, they're niggers.
Hard ER.
Hard ER.
Hard ER. Hard.
But you got your niggas in the butts. Saw that laugh.
That was funny. Real quick, y'all. As always, we're sponsored by Gia Turner Realtor. Now's the time to buy because interest rates are low, historically low. And if you know anything about history, then it's low. Gia has a team of credit manager to help you clean your credit legally, and a finance manager to help you get the home based on your credit.
Yes,
to be honest with you, you don't need that high of a credit score. I think it was 620 can do it. We qualified for a $250,000 house, even though we didn't get $250. We weren't doing them payments. But you can qualify for $250 with a 620. So time to get your credit up, like we did in the last episode. Get your credit together. Also, let Gia get you in your dream home today, right now, ASAP, like yesterday.
Before it get hot.
And it's a seller's market. So now's the time to sell your property and get top dollar for your home or your land and bring in a nice profit. Contact Gia Turner Realtor Associate today at 314-323-1589 or go to www.homesbygiaturner.com.
Do that.
Berkshire
Hathaway.
Yes, these damn tongues and lips ain't
tired,
working.
y'all.
Also, once you get that crib, you want to celebrate, you want to party, you need a DJ, right?
DJ
so, if you need a DJ for an event, contact DJ Low. That's DJ L-O. DJ Low Entertainment. DJ handles birthday parties, family and class reunions, house parties, divorce parties, baby showers, strip parties, bat mitzvahs, and bar mitzvahs.
Okay, dirty.
Shit, DJ Low.
Quesadillas?
If y'all don't know DJ Low, I know DJ Low. Low, a good dude. Also, Low does day parties. Day parties are fire.
Yeah,
and much
it's
more.
starting to get warm, y'all.
Yeah. So, if you live in St. Charles County or St. Charles, how about over on the east side across that bridge? Cause East St. Louis, Alton, Swansea. Anywhere in St. Clair County, Belleville. Or if you live in St. Louis or St. Louis County, 314. Give DJ Low a call. Hit him up. His name is Marlo Johnson at area code 314-630-8819. Or on Facebook, look him up, Marlo Johnson, M-A-R-L-O, Johnson, DJ Low.
Hey,
of
Marlo.
DJ Low Entertainment.
All right, DJ
All
Low.
right, now.
I'm calling.
Give me
be
a call.
calling.
That's my dude. Let's see. Q&A. Should police officers wear body cameras? Why or why not?
They
I say yes.
Yes, they should.
Why? Because it's supposed to keep a person responsible and become accountable for their actions.
Yep.
What say you, Chocolate?
I say yeah, because what they don't realize is that even if they're presented with someone who has bad intentions, they automatically got them on camera. Mm-hmm. If something happens to you and there's a live feed going back to your, as an officer, there's a live feed going back to your precinct, something happens to you, you're right on it. What if you can't respond or call for help?
Right.
That only helps you. That helps identify anyone that shot at you. That helps identify the area you're in. I don't understand how it could be a con.
Right.
In any kind of way.
Exactly.
What say you, both ladies?
Same as you, same as her. Accountability, point blank, both sides. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they need cams.
In what ways might body-worn cameras improve policing? And in what ways might they complicate or impair policing? What say you, boss lady?
I feel like, you know what? When used properly in your purpose, don't just use me in my purpose. When used properly, I feel like they would improve policing. Mm-hmm. I don't want it to be a situation, because I'm not certain. I have never seen a body cam in person. I'm not certain, but I don't want them to be able to say the battery ran out, or I didn't know my battery wasn't hooked up, or it was turned off. I'm sorry, I thought I had it on the whole time. I don't want any of those to be an excuse. I want it to be, you have to put this on your uniform, and this is working. It's in working order, and you have to do that. I don't want nobody to be able to cover it up. It should improve policing.
Yeah. That clip full, ain't it?
That's what I'm saying. You come to work with you got your handcuffs, you check your handcuffs, and you got your
taser, your mace,
and your mace, and your billy club, and your pistol, and then your other pistol that be in the car just in case you get that.
And the one on your ankle.
On the one on your ankle, yeah.
So, all that way.
Yeah, buddy. But
your body cam ain't hooked up?
I don't know.
That's part of your uniform.
And that's all I'm saying. Don't make excuses for it. It would work.
Mm-hmm.
In what ways might body cameras improve policing? In all kind of ways, because if you are, it goes with anything. If you are, what's the word? How you say that stuff? If you are, you ain't got to be ready if you already ready. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. True.
So if you already a good officer, then that body cam shouldn't bother you. But if you want to fuck boy on some bullshit, pushing all the all the borders, you on some bullshit, then it will fuck with the way you police because you're not policing correctly.
Yeah, you feel like you're being babysat and you don't like that. Get out of that job and go do something else.
Go be a UFC fighter or something.
What's the movie with Denzel?
Training Day?
Yeah, Training Day. Basically, you live in Training Day.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Should police departments consider other reform in addition or instead of body cameras?
You know what I said, training.
No. The only thing I think
they need more training.
Well, it said I believe in addition to, but not instead of.
Yeah.
In addition to.
I think the additional reform should be a civilian police board to look over different stuff. Because if you are an officer and you, for the most part, that blue shield shit. That gang matters. They protect their own regardless.
And they know how they own act. Like you wouldn't put a pedophile at a daycare and say, "Here, I'll be right back."
Now don't touch that kid now.
No, you ain't even gotta say that. Here, sit here. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
because you're a grown up. I know you can watch these kids.
When you got people,
fucking pedophile.
When you got people who sit there, if you have a police board of civilians, I mean, educate civilians. Don't just put anybody on the police board.
And they have to get along because that little union that they did for Ferguson, they couldn't even get along.
They couldn't get it together.
Yeah, they couldn't agree on anything. Everybody had their own agenda, and there can be none of that.
Yeah.
But I will say this: if they made these officers responsible, they get their shit together.
Oh, hell yeah.
They've been fighting about this for some years now. But financially, if it hit the officers in the motherfucker, if they had to carry liability insurance
to do that,
they would get their shit together.
I know Chris Rock has said one time, we don't need gun reform, we need bullet reform.
There you go.
Because if each bullet costs $5,000.
That's another thing.
Well, shit, he must have done something. He got $20,000
recently,
worth of bullets in his ass.
I can't remember the story, but recently makes so much sense to me. they have there was a mass shooting at a school, and they have made accountable 2 gun makers, and they're being sued.
Oh yeah, don't say the name. I know what you're talking about.
Exactly. You saw that story too.
Yeah, I saw that
Yeah,
too.
and I thought
I was like,
that was like a milestone. That was
Yeah,
something that had
that
never been
was-
accomplished. Yes.
Man, that. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
wow, we living in those times. But yeah, that makes sense. Somebody,
Mm-hmm.
if somebody had to come out of pocket for these bullshit,
Oh, things would change
Shit.
because it's
Hit 'em
all
in their
about
pockets.
money. It's always about money.
It's money.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that ever changes.
Yeah.
Is money.
Yeah, it's all about money.
Okay.
I know they were looking into getting rid of the immunity clause, where most officers have immunity over the things that they do,
Yeah.
and that.
That's where they believe that they're above the law.
Yeah, because they pretty much are because of immunity. If you kill somebody accidentally,
Yeah.
you get away with it.
I fear for my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Do cameras increase community trust? It's supposed to, but I say no because
that's not the
once
way they're being
again,
used, no.
certain officers get away with certain shit because their superiors, whether it be the captain, the major,
It even goes to the judges
chief.
and the grand juries.
Right.
They uphold the bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because you go play golf with Judge so and so,
Yeah.
and then you went bowling with Mayor so
Right.
and so. So when it comes up your bullshit,
Right.
okay, we gonna sweep it under the
Right,
I mean,
because
done for me. I
because
ain't
the DA might know that the judge was just different coke.
Yeah, together in the
Yeah,
restroom.
exactly. So
Yeah,
no,
that's how
I
they
gotta
do.
uphold them because they'll let
Oh,
out my
yeah,
secret.
They
you
know
know,
everything about me.
Number 5. So why haven't police body cameras stopped police-involved shootings and other incidents?
just what we said.
We just said.
We just said.
I mean,
That's
it
what we
goes back
said.
to you don't know who and who.
That part.
I mean, it's done worked in my favor a few times, but just as much, that karma pays a visit to my children. So,
But even still, anything that you've done, it wasn't going to lead to your death at the end of the day.
no,
Exactly.
no, I'm saying
Exactly.
I have
Right.
cop friends that be like, you know what, I'll look that up for you.
Exactly.
Or,
I mean,
okay,
having
you
a
run this.
minor favor, everyone does that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
True that.
Yeah. This episode is definitely a touchy one. There's a lot of opinions on this panel and some facts. But please, just remember, we are not anti-officer.
Please don't.
We're
go
not
away with
pro
that.
Black Lives Matter. We're not anti Black Lives Matter. We're just people who are concerned with the community at large and how things are going right now with the use of body cameras or lack thereof, or the use of body cameras and lack of responsibility of putting corrupt officers away. And there's always a couple bad apples, and a couple bad apples will ruin sometimes the whole bunch. As well as you can sit and say there's a couple bad blacks, a couple bad whites, a couple bad Mexicans. We get that. So there's bad people across the board.
Right.
And always remember, police officers are still human.
Yeah.
They go home, they bleed, they cry, they have family dinners with their family, they have wives and husbands and girlfriends and they and children, and they are
human.
human. They're human.
They're human.
So please don't put these police officers on a pedestal like they can't do any wrong when they can.
Yeah.
Hell, even Martin Luther King Jr. was a human being, and he fucked up. He did a lot of wrong, but
for the greater good.
for the greater good, he did some good. So just if you are a police officer or know someone that is a law officer, just do some good in the community. Just do some good. I know your back's against the wall. It's easy for me to say because I don't have to risk my life every day to go get the community together. But I'm very appreciative of
If something
every
happened right now, I would
male
call
and
the police.
female officer, no matter your race, your creed, your sexuality. Just do some good, and we appreciate that.
Yep.
absolutely.
So that right there is that on that. The last sponsor right now, we go with Tory Pride of Paradigms Credit Systems. That's PARADYME, Paradigm Credit Systems. Give him a call today at 314-239-1781. He's only taking another 100 people to clean your
100
credit.
slots.
If you want to know more about the credit that he does, the credit cleaning process he does, please watch episode 17. This is episode 18, so go back an episode, watch it, or listen to it, and give him a call. Even though he's located in St. Louis, it's nationwide, except for Georgia. He helps. He does not. There's too many scammers in Georgia. So please give Toriano a call at 314-239-1781. And that's Tory Pride of Paradigm Credit Systems. If you want some more information on how to reach Toriano Pride, You can go to www.paradigmcreditsystems.com, and that's Paradigm, dime with a Y, not an I, or Paradigm Credit Systems on Facebook, as well as Instagram. And so this is an episode number 18. We appreciate you checking us out. Please tell a friend and tell a friend when you get and when you get a chance, please make sure you go on any one of our pages, whether it's Instagram, audio _ Audacity _ podcast, Facebook, Audio Audacity podcast, YouTube, Audio Audacity podcast, or you can listen to us anywhere. Google, it can be listened to by Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, and Spreaker.
We everywhere.
We everywhere, as we say it in my native language of St. Louis. And in parting, if you got the gall to do it, we got the audacity to talk about it. And that's another episode in the books. Catch y'all later, y'all.
Peace.